Okay, so the way that you would know that you're registered is you would look in the portal. It'll either say waitlisted or if you're registered. Okay. So if you go to your portal, let's see. You're going to log in as a student. And then you can actually just see if you're actually registered in the course. If you go into the course, you log into the student, then you should be able to get into the Canvas shell. And then on the shell, on your dashboard, it'll have our courses. So you'll see my course, which will look like this one right here.
And mine will say CO2 instead of CO1.
That is correct. Okay. And it looks like we had somebody who just came in. For the person who just came in, I'm going to need you to go to, let's see, go to the link that's in the chat box. And enter your information. Okay. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go to the course. Go ahead and select your course. And actually, before you do that, up here in the upper corner, you'll see an account. And then what I'd like you guys to go to is go to notifications. Now, when you go to notifications, you want to go down and make sure that your notifications are turned on for your announcements. The way that they're turned on is that you'll see the green bell. If they're turned off, it'll be a slash with that bell. So anytime that there's an announcement for this course or any courses that you have, you'll get that announcement. Now, if you're doing it by your email, then anytime that you get an announcement, it'll be sent to your email. If you have Canvas on your phone or on your tablet, then you'll be able to get a notification at the top of your phone saying, hey, you have a new announcement. And then you can click on it and see what that announcement is. Now, we're going to be communicating via the announcements, okay? So it's really important that you turn this on so that you guys are getting those announcements. So that's going to be our primary means of communication. Now, in our announcements in the course, right now, you should have two announcements. One is welcoming you to the course. The other one is talking about the mandatory meeting, which you guys are already here. So that means that you guys got the message initially. So that's good.
You're on student view.
Yeah, I'm leaving it now. So. Okay, so then what I'd like you guys to do is take a minute, and if you guys have a profile picture, show us a picture of you. All right, this is an old picture. I need to put up the new picture. My hair's kind of changed a little bit over the years. So what I'd like you guys to do is give me a picture of you. And if you're not comfortable with how you look or things to that extent, give something that would represent you so that I'll be able to know you. Right. So like last semester, I had a student that came up to me and, hey, I'm in your class. And I was like, okay. And you are, and then he's like, well, I'm SpongeBob. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then, so I recognized who he was by the image he was. And so we just had a little conversation. And then I went on about my day and he went on about his. But that way we were making those connections. It also helps me relate a little bit to you as well. And if you guys get a chance, what I'd like you guys to do is also give me a little bit of information about your contact information and stuff like that. That's just your email and stuff like that. And then a little bit of a bio about you. I give a little bit of bio in the course. I'll be putting this up. So in my profile. So then I'm actually doing the assignment as well too, so that you guys can know a little bit more about me. And then if you have any links, like let's say you have an iTunes page, or what is it? SoundCloud page or something like that you want to share. So something like that, that'll be cool as well too. So. Okay, so we've talked about the announcements. So if you guys can go to modules. How many of you guys are pretty excited about the lab? Mrs. Kumar, do you happen to have your lab kit available?
My lab kit, yes, it's available with me.
Okay, excellent. Do you mind grabbing it so we can talk about that a little bit?
Sure.
Now, you're going to be able to do this if you're in my course immediately. And then if you guys wait a little bit later, you can watch the recording and you'll be able to do it with Mrs. Kumari. Because like I said, she got here. We literally just solved the problem like 10 minutes before we got this video started actually. So we have the issue resolved so that you'll be able to order your lab kits. And we'll talk about the price of them and then ways that we're going to try to help you guys with cutting that cost, okay? Okay, so if you guys were waitlisted initially, it usually takes about a day before you will show up on the Canvas shell. So you'll be watching this recording. I'll be putting it up later on today. What you're going to do is anytime that there's a recording, the easiest way, there's going to be two places it's going to show up. One of the places is that I'm going to put any important recordings up in either our lecture videos or in our lab videos. Okay. So if it'll be under your lecture video for like orientation. So that's what today is your mandatory meeting / orientation. Okay. So it'll show up here. And since we're doing this new, it will also show up in your Tech Connect Zoom. So right now, this will be our first recording. So it's not going to show up until later on. So it should also show up here as well. But your first place you should always look is under modules. Okay, so it will show up in your lecture recording. So that'll probably be later on today after I get everything done. And so we'll put that up top before Unit 1. Okay. So someone asked me, well, you have to buy a brand new kit. So yes, right now there isn't any used ones. You will have to buy a brand new kit unless you took the class in the fall or last fall or the spring and you didn't pass the class. You don't have to buy a new kit. You can use the same kit. Okay. You just have to do all the assignments over again. That's it. But yes, you will have to buy a brand new kit. And we'll talk about that when Mrs. Kumari gets back. Are you there, Mrs. Kumari?
Yes, I am here.
Do you mind showing them the kit?
Sure.
So I'll stop sharing my screen.
Okay, so the kit
Or just
comes
portions of it, yeah.
with a big list of supplies. So whenever you open your box, you check if did you find everything in it. Okay. So
And that's one of the first things that you want to do is that you want to make sure that you check that you have all your content in there. You want to make sure that nothing is broken. Everything is there. It's called the inventory. And so you won't be able to do any of the labs or any of the exercises until you've done that. Okay.
and
So
the
it's
company
really
does
important.
nice packing. So like these are the test tubes. They put it securely into the beaker. Beaker is also in the bubble wrap, right? Different size beaker. So look at this is the big one. Then they put the small one inside and the test tubes inside. Okay, so we have these well plates here for one of our lab on writing on net ionic equation. You will find out when two compounds are reagents are mixed. So are they soluble? The precipitation happens or not? So this is one of the experiment we will be doing for mass, for any object. For measurement of mass, we have this tiny, scale. So I open the packing here. Okay, that comes with batteries already. So you just have to activate the battery, okay? And this is the lid of that. You will have gloves, a pair of gloves in it. Actually 10 gloves in this, so 5 pairs. We have some pipettes. This is our test tube stand. It can hold 6 test tubes at a time. We have chemicals which we need, packed nicely. Okay. So wire stand when we will do the heating experiment. So you have this Vic fuel. Open it and okay, so you light it up. Okay, if anything when you guys want to heat it up, so that stands goes on that. So you can put your beaker, whatever thing you guys are heating the stuff on the top of that. That's your graduator cylinder for volume measurement. So some more reagents, like we have vinegar in this one. I don't want to read all of them. So some are the powdered solid substance, ionic and covalent compounds. And this one, we have thistle funnel. That's the spatula to get the chemicals. You don't have to touch them, although. So look at that. They gave us the 3 packets of the gloves. So you have 30 gloves. I'm almost done, Dr. Henry. Okay. So we
Okay,
have
so
found.
yep. So let me go ahead and show them now how to order the process of getting signed up for the
Hard
kits.
stuff to grab. You have a tongue. Okay, don't have to touch it with the bare finger. You guys have.
Okay. Mrs. Kamari, I'm gonna cut you off.
Yes,
So
we
I'm
are
gonna show
drinking
them
it.
how to order it.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so what I need you guys to do is, if you guys go under modules, you go down to lab exercises. There's an assignment. There's an assignment that's just popped up. It should have just popped up. So you want to refresh your screen and you want to go to getting started. Now, when you click on it, it's going to take you to this window here. So go ahead and load getting started window.
Dr. Henry, Sophia has a question. So where do we buy the kit?
That's what I'm getting to, Mrs. Kumar, right now. So yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So when you get here as a student, you're going to get it's going to look like this. At the very top, you're going to see enter code, purchase kit. So this is where you're going to purchase your kit. So your kit it's actually gone up. They just told me that today too. So it's $286, and then plus $16 shipping and handling. So what we've decided to do, maybe Ms. Kumari had talked about this. You guys, you can work in groups of 3. So if you have people in your neighborhood or in your area that you excuse me, that you are close by or that you know that's also taking the course, you guys can purchase one kit and share that kit. We're going to give you a list. I'm going to give you a link where you tell me who are your partners, and then one of you guys are going to have to sign up to order that kit, and then you guys can split it 3 ways. Okay? Questions?
How would
Um,
we know who is our partner? Do we have to like go through the list to choose?
Yeah, so you're going to have to pick your partner, right? Because we don't know who lives next to you. And so that's part of the reason that if you know somebody who lives close to you and that's also taking this course, you can take advantage of that. If you're having trouble, let's say financially right now, money's tight and everything like that, let us know. And then we can make delays, but we need to try to get this kit ordered by the end of the week. Okay? So we need you to try to order by the end of the week, but we need to know if you're going to have some financial issues. What I like you guys to do is to send me an email via Canvas to tell me that you're going to be a little delayed in purchasing the kit. Okay. And let's see. How would you reach out to them? Okay. So what we will do is if you can let us know who you're interested in interacting with, if you can give us that information, what we'll do is we'll put you guys in a lab group together, right? You can contact them, like if you see somebody who's in your area, right? If you see somebody who's in your current area, if you can contact them, we'll give you a list to be able to contact them. And you should also be able to contact them through the mail, through your email. So if you go to your mail service, you guys are able to interact with each other as well as interact with me. Okay? Does that make sense? So you guys can send each other messages, emails in the course as well.
I can't find it on Canvas.
Okay, so let me show you. You can't find where to click to get started?
Yeah, for me, it says lab exercise and there's only 3 assignments under it, so I don't see it for me.
Okay, so if you go to modules, and then let me show you student view. So the third one says getting started.
Oh, for me, it says kit verification for the 3rd assignment.
Okay. It says kit verification for the 3rd assignment.
Yeah, for the 3rd thing. It doesn't say getting started for me.
Okay. So, so you're in Mrs. Kumari's class?
I am, yeah.
Okay, so we just got that fixed. So what you're gonna do is we're gonna set the recording, so you'll be able to watch the recording here in a minute after this, in a couple of minutes to give us a chance to upload it. And then that way you'll be able to sit there and view it as well. So let me go ahead and send it to Mrs. Kumari to help her get it established on her end. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, it was, the company had made some changes, and so we have to enter a couple of things before we're able to sit there and get it started. So, if you guys wait, for those students, just wait to watch the video who are in Mrs. Kumari class, and those students who are just registering today, if you can wait to watch the video to try to enter anything, then you'll be okay, because then you'll be able to sit there and just watch it and enter it that way, if that's clear.
remember he said earlier that this issue was fixed 10 minutes before we started the Zoom. So we were not able to communicate it to me yet. So we will fix it on my end also. Okay?
Yeah. So that's one of the things about the summer classes. They're so quick. We have such a short break between things. And like I said, things were just being introduced to us, told to us about what was going on, the new changes. So.
Yes.
Okay, so for those who were there, it's going to ask you your mailing address who are ordering the kit. It's going to ask you your mailing address. But what you've already done, you've established yourself in the system. Now, if you guys can do me a favor, I would like all of you guys to sit there and establish yourself within the system. So for those who are in my class, go ahead. Everybody click it, even though you're going to be working with somebody, so that we can see that you're there. And then we can actually get you started on everything. Now, again, if you cannot purchase the kit by the end of the week, let me know by email. Because then what we can do, we can try to set up some delays, or we can figure out a way of trying to help you out with that purchase, okay? Okay, so can you guys still see my screen?
Dr. Henry, can you please answer Stormy also
Okay, what did
in the
Stormy
chat
say?
box?
Okay, let me open the chat box.
Because Melissa is also asking the same thing too.
Okay, so you guys are getting an error, it looks like. Let's see. No, so you won't be getting if you're not working in a group, you won't be getting a 0 for the first assignment. So let me explain to you guys. So you guys have a couple of questions. You guys are good. You guys have a lot of good questions. Okay, so let's see. So I'm getting an error code. Okay, so if you're getting an error code, kind of like what I just did, so what we're going to do is try to get you to try it again a little bit later. And it should take you there. Let me start it. Sure I'm in the right course. Yeah. Okay, so do me a favor. One thing you forgot to tell me on my end. So go ahead and try it now. You should be able to see it. So hit refresh and go ahead and try it now. Okay, so for those who are showing those errors, that has nothing to do with you just starting a class. There's multiple questions that I'm trying to answer. So for the kit, so since we have that error, I need to contact the company. It is something that they need to fix on their end. Again, so I thought we had it resolved. But at least we know that we can get you to this site and actually you're able to go there. So even though it didn't show us what we needed to show. So what we'll do is we'll fix that problem. I will record another video taking you guys through the steps of how you would get into the class. And so we'll have that video up for you guys to watch. More than likely, we'll have that ready for you guys on Thursday. So that means that we're going to give you a little more time to purchase your kit. Okay. Okay. So then the next thing, let's do active learning. So if you guys go to modules,
Dr. Henry, I have one question.
yes.
One of the student who is already joined our Zoom, her
Yes.
name is not in the wait list.
Her name,
Is not in the wait listed people.
okay, so then that means they're registered. correct?
One of the name, the student is with us now, and
Okay.
she already put her name in the chat box. Can I join your class, right? But her name is not in my roster for wait listed.
So that means that she probably was on my wait list.
Okay, so Brianna, are you in Dr. Henry's wait list?
Okay, so let me stop sharing. One. Okay, so let me confirm this. At this point, we have another error that we have another error with the kit. So you're not able to purchase anything right now, okay? So I will get that error resolved as soon as I can. I should have it resolved by sometime tomorrow. If you guys can bear with me, I will have a recording for you. It will specifically say how to order the kit, okay? And then we'll put that recording up for you guys to order your kits, okay? So right now, you can't do anything with the kits because we're getting that error on your end. And so we need to figure out why you guys are getting that error on your end, okay? And so we've got the error on our end fixed. So now we just need to fix the other one. Does that make sense? Give me acknowledgement. Yes, it makes sense. Yes, no, maybe. Okay, good. So sorry for the inconvenience. You know, it's technology is one of those issues. Okay, so I'm going to start sharing again. Now, what you need to do now is go down to M01 modules, getting started. You're going to scroll down and you're going to see that chain with active learning. Now, you all should be able to do this right now. It should be working right now. Hopefully. Every time that they do updates, it screws up the connection with other vendors that are working through the system. So like Active Learning, Science Interactive, those things get messed up. And so there was updates that were done, and now we're just getting them fixed. We're getting the fixes for them right now. So what I need you guys to do is to select this, Active Learning. You're going to click on it. And then you're going to go ahead and click on that link. So when it does that, it's going to take you if you're in my class, you're going to take me to my assignments. If you're in Mrs. Kumari's class, it's going to take you to Mrs. Kumari's assignment. And then it's going to have you put your name, your email address, all of those things. Is that happening? Or are we getting an error? Okay, good. It's working. Okay. Now, if you're not able to do anything, I forgot to tell you guys this, and I'll tell you now. You guys need to make sure that you're using Chrome. So you always have to use Chrome as your browser or Firefox as your browser. Chrome or Firefox. If you're using Safari, it will not work. If you're using Edge, it will not work, or it works some of the time. Okay, so is it working for you guys? Okay, so if you go here, once you put all your information in, on your end, the very first tab, you're not going to see anything because this is an online course. You're not going to have any in-class assignments. You will have homework assignments. So if you go to your homework assignments, you're going to have assignments that are going to be located here. Okay, and so you'll see you already have homework assignments. Okay, so I will take a step back. So right now we're talking about active learning chemistry. So what I like you guys to do, if you're using your cell phone, it won't work. You will need to download the app on your phone because it's good to have it on your phone and you can do your homework assignments that way. You need to be at a computer to get these things to work. If you're on your phone, you will not be able to get these to work. So you need to get to a computer at some point to get these to work. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is that you need to make sure that you're using Chrome. Okay, so that's in the case of active learning. That's also in the case of Science Interactive, the KIPP company. Okay, now, as I said earlier about the kits, you will not be able to do anything because we have an error code that's popping up. You'll be able to go there, but nothing else is going to happen. You'll see that error code. We're trying to get that fixed. We will have that fixed hopefully by tomorrow. And then I will send you guys a video or a link to a video to watch to show you how to purchase the kit. Okay. Once we get that resolved, then you'll be able to purchase the kit. Is that clear? Everybody understands that?
Yes.
Okay, so if you're in my course, you should be able to see the assignments. If you're in Mrs. Kumari's course, because she just got back, and these are one of the things that we were having some issues with, you may not be able to see the course. We have to give her a chance to get that up and running because we've gotten some of these fixes.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Are all our assignments under the active chemistry or is it under modules too? For homework?
So your assignments is going to be you're going to see them under both. So I'm going to actually put them under the modules as well. So it'll be a link that's going to take you to active. And then occasionally you will have some assignments that will be in Canvas. And so you'll have those. Now there are two major assignments. You typically are going to have a lab. You're typically going to have three. Typically a lab, typically a lab homework, and then you're going to have your lecture. So each of your lectures are going to have questions that are going to be associated with you watching the lectures.
Are
Okay.
the questions
you.
graded? Sorry.
Yes, the questions will be graded. But you will have ample opportunities. You're talking about for your homeworks or you're talking about for the lecture?
Yeah, the lecture, I kind of like scrolled through it and there was like a question that you have to ask or you have
Yes,
to answer. Those are graded, right?
those are graded, yes.
Okay. Do you
And
recommend like watching the lecture videos and the lab videos before doing this homework on active or?
yes, I
Okay,
strongly recommend that
thank
because
you.
sometimes what I've done, I've gone through some of the questions that may have been difficult in the lecture.
Okay, and is this just like a quiz format for active homework or?
So active homework it's just homework. So it's not necessarily a quiz format. Well, I guess it is in a sense, but it's a homework assignment. So some of them you're going to have to calculate yourself. Some of them will be multiple choice. So it's going to be a combination of both, if that makes sense. You know, so it's not necessarily a quiz. You typically are going to have a couple of homework assignments. Like for instance, the second homework assignment, there's 58 problems. So the idea is that each day you do a little bit each day. And I think that's what you're kind of asking me is that do I have to sit and get it done in one setting or can I do it over a couple of days during the week? Does that make sense? So
Yes.
this case, you can do it over a couple of days during the week for the homeworks. Now the exams, that's going to be under your quizzes. And right now we don't have any exams showing because you don't have any exams immediately. So those are timed. And so they're going to be quiz formatted. So you're going to have to sit down and make sure you get that done within that time frame.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Dr. Henry, I have a question.
Okay.
Okay, so there are 5 students, you can check their name in our attendance sheet.
Mm-hmm.
One is at number 10, Amari Bravo.
Mm-hmm.
Amari Bravo is not in my wait list.
Okay. That's because she's in my wait list.
Okay, so by accident she put CO2 then.
Okay. So she needs to put CO1.
Okay, so
So,
second number is 20, Brian
okay.
Pereira Perez. And Brian name is not in my roster list also.
I'll have to take a look to see if he's on mine. So I'll take a
Okay.
look. Yeah.
Yeah. And Janae Bonilla, number
Mhm.
35.
Yeah. She's on my wait list.
Okay,
So
that's it.
if you're waitlisted with me, you need to make sure that you're in C01 waitlisted. So that kind of helps us navigate where we're going. So
Yeah, because I don't see on my end.
yeah,
Okay,
she's on
Brianna
mine.
Castro, number 45.
He's in mine. Yeah.
Okay, that's a CO1 too. Okay. And Michael Castillo, number 34.
He's in mine as well.
Okay. So number 20 is also yours. This is highlighted in yellow.
Who's
Brian
number 20?
Pereira.
Who?
Brian Pereira Perez.
I believe she's in mine as well too. Yes.
Okay, so and there is one student at number 45, Brianna Guillen. Brianna Guillen. Okay, so name is not on mine.
I'll have to look to see if she's on mine. So
So she's with us right now. So I was wondering.
okay. Okay.
Uh,
So
I had a quick question.
yes.
Will majority of what you're explaining going to be similar for Miss Kumari's class as well as homework assignments, quizzes, and exams?
Yes, everything that I'm explaining is going to be exactly the same. The only thing is that I got a chance to fix parts of my Canvas shell where she hasn't had a chance to fix hers yet. So, like I said, we found out because most companies aren't open on the weekend. And so we tested everything out. When we put it together, it was working. And then the next day it wasn't. So on Saturday, it wasn't working. So we've gotten some of the kinks worked out, but obviously there's still some others. And so I'll be contacting the company to get those things ironed out, those issues.
So due dates will be the same for Miss Kumari's class.
They should be about the same as Mrs. Kamari's class. Now, since we know that there's some little quirks that are going on in some cases, your due dates may shift a little bit. So we'll make those adjustments appropriately.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions?
Yeah, I asked, once we submit the active homework, will it show us the correct answers after?
So you will have 3 attempts, 3 to 4 attempts to sit there and try to get the answer right, because the main thing that we want to do is to make sure that you guys are learning the material, right? We want you to do well, get it correct the first time, but sometimes there's certain questions that may, you may have made a little mistake. So the idea is that you're going to have another chance to sit there and do it. So, and at the end, you do get a question, you get the correct answer, and it'll tell you why the correct answer is correct. So it's actually pretty good about that. It lets you know what you did wrong in that process.
Yay, that sounds nice. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, so one last thing. For this course, you guys are expected to interact with each other. Let me stop this, get to where I want to be. And because of that, we're putting you guys in groups, and we haven't done it yet. We're trying to be strategic about how we put you guys together, but we're going to be talking about your group project. You guys won't be able to identify your group until we get our last set of individuals coming in. We want to kind of, like I said, put you guys together a little strategically. And so let me share my screen. Where you're going to find that information out at is you're going to actually go to your group icon. Highlight it, or I'll circle it. So right over here is your group icon. If you select it, it'll tell you all the groups that you belong to. And what it is, you guys are going to have a group project. Your group project is going to consist of 3 parts. So I'm going to go to my assignment. Okay, so if you look here, you'll see some of your group projects have already started to pop up. One of them is going to be identified in your group. So once we've established your groups, again, this is going to be shifted because, again, little quirks that we're trying to work out. It shouldn't take you long to establish your groups, and I'll show you where you're going to go about doing that. You guys are going to be working on, let's see. Okay, you guys are going to be working on your group page. So your page is basically, it's going to be a 2,000 word paper that you're going to be writing in Pages in Canvas. And so all it is kind of like a little research on the topic that you're doing. We're looking at, you're going to be teaching the subject matter to an individual. Let me give you an example. Let's say we're talking about the conservation of mass. That's one of the first topics that you guys are going to be working with. Or actually, it's the second one that you're going to be working with. But in that context, you're going to teach individuals that are like you that topic. So you guys as a group are going to write a 2,000 word paper with images and figures and graphs and chemical equations that needed to be worked in the correct format. Okay, this is going to give you the parameters of the project. This here tells you the rubric, what you're going to be graded on as we read over it. Right, and the very first thing that I want you guys to do is to write the paper, the 2,000 word paper. Then from that 2,000 word paper, the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to make a presentation from that. Okay, so this gives you a brief description of the presentation. It isn't published yet. It will be published, but I want you to work on the paper first. Okay, now the presentation is going to be a 20-minute presentation with 5 minutes of question and answer. you need to make sure that there's a combination, a good balance between your visual and your text. And so we don't want novels written in your presentation. Typically, you're going to have anywhere from, since it's a 20-minute presentation, anywhere from like 10 to 15 slides, no more than 15 slides, because you're going to spend roughly about 2 minutes per slide. And then again, this is going to be a group presentation. There's going to be group members of about 6 team members that are in each of your groups. And you guys are going to be presenting this together. Okay. Now, the thing about your group presentation, it's really important that you understand what you're presenting and that you're not just reading off the slides and that you have a good understanding of the concepts. Okay. Now, when you're doing this, you're going to do it in the context of you're teaching individuals like yourselves this information. Now, as the instructor, I'm looking at it to see whether or not you know the content, you understand what you're presenting, you understand the topic, and of course, how you do it, right? And so again, the rubric is going to be posted on here, so you'll be able to see it. Actually, it's at the end of the document here, so you'll get an idea of what you're going to be graded on, okay? And then the last part of your project is the parody. Do you guys know what parodies are? Anyone? Let's see.
No.
No. Okay, so a parody is, have you guys seen music videos where they make fun of another music video? A good person, a good artist that does this a lot is Weird Al Yankovic, where there's a song that's really popular and he makes a cover of that song that's funny with different lyrics and everything like that, kind of making fun of the song or making fun of whatever. So a parody is kind of like that, okay? And I'll give you guys an example. A lot of times in your Canvas shell, when I first introduced the topic, you will have a parody from one set of my former students that are doing a parody on that topic. And so you're going to do a parody. So the idea is that the parody is kind of like your hook, right? And so you have the page, you have the presentation, and the parody, which is going to be about 2 minutes, 2 minutes to 2.5 minutes. And you're going to be given a genre of music. So I'm going to give you guys the genre. You're going to get a topic in chemistry, and then you guys are going to make a parody on that. So you're going to take what you know, your knowledge base, and you're going to make the words and write up the lyrics and everything like that to kind of fit the topic that you're talking about. And then you're going to share that with the class, okay? The parody. Now, the parody, in most cases, you want it to be kind of, it helps to be silly. It doesn't have to be silly. It could be dramatic. There's a group that did one that was really about, the cheating electron and stuff like that. So it's up to you what you guys do. You're able, for this project, for your group project, you're able to sit there and use AI. And I'm going to have little training sessions on how to use AI for this. You guys know what I mean by AI, right?
Yes.
Artificial intelligence. You guys all heard of ChatGPT. We've been fighting the battle with ChatGPT since we've been here. So in that context, you're going to be allowed to use it for this project. You are not allowed to use AI for your exams. If I catch anyone using AI for the exams, you get a 0 on that piece of work, on that exam. And then I'm giving you that one warning. If it happens again, then you will get a permanent F for the course, and then I will be reporting you to my bosses. So, but you can use it on specific projects like this, okay? And the thing that I want you guys to understand, there's a correct way of using artificial intelligence, and there's an incorrect way of using it. If you're using it for your homework assignments, it's probably not the best way of doing it, because what we want to do is we want you to sit there and figure out how to do it yourself. And if you're struggling, talk to a tutor, talk to a live person to help you with that process. If you're just getting the answers directly from them, we're going to eventually find out either through the exam or some other way. And in the long run, it's going to hurt you. Okay. Now, it's okay to use AI to sit there and help you understand it. Let's say you're struggling in balancing chemical equations. So go and talk to the AI about what is the easiest way to figure out how to balance chemical equations, right? And so, and use it as a tool to learn, not to cheat. Does that make sense? Are you guys there? Is anybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
Because
Okay,
we have not published it, Dr. Henry, so they cannot see it. That's why they are just
yes,
looking at the screen. Yeah, your screen. So I think
okay.
excited about that. They are
Okay, so now when you go to groups, it's going to be broken down, and then you're going to have, it's going to be basically, this is all you're going to see there. You're going to see your group that you're talking about. You're going to have your announcements. So these are the announcements, okay, that you can send out to your group. So everybody in your group will get that announcement, so you don't have to send individual emails. You can have your page. Now, this is where you're going to be putting your information. So to add a page, all you would do, and again,
Me? Hi,
excuse me?
Dr. Henry. Hi.
Yeah.
For a lot of us, we were saying that we don't have that group tab on
No,
Canvas.
right now, you don't have it currently, but
Okay.
you will.
Perfect.
will.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
You
Yeah.
want me to publish it, Dr. Henry?
not yet, not
Not
yet.
yet?
Yeah, not yet. So we'll let us talk. We'll talk afterwards, and then we'll let you publish it. But you
Okay.
guys will be able to watch this recording and then follow the steps. And one of the assignments is to send a message to each other. And the reason why you guys don't have that group tab yet is because we haven't put you guys in the groups yet. And so we'll be putting you in the groups. We're trying to be a little more strategic about how we do it so that you guys are going to be taking classes together. A lot of you guys are going into nursing. Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay, good. And some of you guys are going into working towards your PCA. Is that true? Pest control advisory license, or you're in plant science. Okay, well, that's usually my two biggest groups that are there. And then occasionally we'll get the ones that don't fit in those categories. What we're trying to do is match you up with other people that you're going to have other courses with. So you guys are interacting with each other early on. So you guys are going to be interacting in microbiology, and you're also going to be interacting in anatomy. So you already have a study group and a crew to continue working with. So these are the best ways of sitting there navigating colleges, is by having a group of people that you're working with consistently, that are reliable and are going to be able to get the work done and things to that extent. It helps you get through the process, each of these steps, even when it gets hard. And so when I went through college, we did it. I was part of a program called MESA, which we will be listed in our syllabus. Make sure you guys all register to be a part of MESA. So you want to contact Zach Soto for that. Now, MESA has access to the books, and I have to talk to you guys about that real quick as well too. But the state requires that you guys interact. This is how we're going to make sure that you guys are interacting with each other, okay? By giving you these projects. So you'll be able to see the people that are in your group by hitting people. So that's how you are going to identify your group once we set you guys up together.
Dr. Henry, this purple circle, the group will show when we will put them in groups, then they will have the group icon.
That's right.
Okay.
Yes. And that icon is always, it's in that main venue right there. And really, it won't say groups. It'll just show that image of the people, which you'll see, of two people together. Okay. Okay. So that's a real quick tab on groups. There's one more thing that I have to go over that I always seem to forget for some reason. And let's see.
I received one email that one student is asking, I need help getting in group.
Okay. And we'll be able to help them once we get groups set up. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, they're talking about the groups. She's most likely talking about group for the labs. So you may want to clarify that.
Jose, please clarify what you need to know.
Well, ask her which type of group. Is she talking about the group project or is she talking about the labs?
Okay, let me answer back.
So the last thing that I want to talk to you guys about real quick, I know since we're over already, is under important links. So right now, it doesn't have the tabs, but this is where you're going to have the links for our office hours and then what I call cocktail hours. Cocktail hours is going to be more, as I said right there, it's more of a relaxed setting. Usually I'll have a cup of coffee or I'll have a beer or something like that. And we'll be just discussing anything that you guys want to talk about. So that'll be your homeworks, that'll be life, that'll be exams, that'll be anything that you guys want to talk about. We find that a lot of students don't talk to their professors because they're not approachable, or they feel that they're not approachable. We're here for you. We can't help you. We don't know if you have problems or anything like that or issues that you're going through unless you let us know. Last semester, I had quite a few students that were trying to navigate college in general. They initially thought they were going to go into nursing. After they took the course, they were like, no, I really want to go into chemistry. I really want to go into biochem, or I really want to go, how would I go about doing that? And so this is a great opportunity for talking for those. So those links will be up. They'll be tagged. We just had, again, a lot of issues with Canvas. There were things that were popping up that weren't supposed to pop up. So we're trying to get that all ironed out right now. So those will be valid tomorrow. They'll be up and running tomorrow. So, bear with me. We thought we'd have a lot of it done today, but we just figured out some of the solutions for some of them. The other thing is that you have tutors that are going to be available. Their links are going to be up tomorrow as well. So they just sent me their information. We had some issues with links not connecting. So we're in the process of getting that worked out. And so you'll have that for both courses, my course and Mrs. Kumari course. So if you don't want to talk to me, you can talk to the tutors. They're more related to you. We also have tutors that are going to be on campus as well. And so we'll be able to help you guys in those ways as well too. And so I'll give you all of that information that's going to be available on this link. Okay. The other thing is, we have a copy of the textbook. Okay. Now this is a temporary copy. The reason it's temporary, it's a PDF. It's not stable. Of course, the textbook company wants you to purchase their textbook. So this copy is not going to be too stable as it is. There are other places that you can get the textbook. At both campus, or I think at all three campuses, the library has copies that are able to be checked out. They only have a certain amount that are able to be checked out for the semester. But I know that if you're in the library and you're working in the library, you can check them out for time periods as well too. Programs like MESA, like EOPS, and HEP and CAMP. So those programs also have textbooks that are available, or they may have a copy or a digital copy of it as well that may be available. You can also get it on Amazon for really cheap. Now, I ask that you get the edition that is 4 and above. We're currently on the 7th edition. That edition costs you like $320. Don't get that one. You can get the 6th edition or the 5th edition. All of those will be fine. You're able to use those. You're already spending a lot of money as it is. We don't want you to spend anything else, okay? The last thing is that we also have what we call the chemical packet. The chemical packet basically has your periodic table. It has conversion tables. It has your polyatomic ion table. Now, this packet you can use for all your exams, okay? Now, what we recommend is that you print it out, but there also will be copies that will be available at the library in Lemoore, in their tutoring area and in their MESA area. There will be copies that will be available in Coalinga, and then there's going to be copies that are going to be available in Fireball. And what I will do, if you guys are interested in getting copies of the lecture notes, I will actually print out a couple of copies of the lecture notes and they'll be available there too. But that's only if you're interested in that. If you're not interested in it, then I won't waste the paper, okay? Are there any other questions? Okay, so Sophia actually has a really good question. So how do I know what I'm gonna have to complete every week? So each module will have a task list. Again, working out quirks. So I say, give us, especially since we have students that'll be onboarding here late. So the very first part of that module will tell you everything that needs to be accomplished. And I need to fix those broken links. So this will tell you exactly what you need to read. It'll actually give you a link to the labs that you have to complete. I will also try to give you a link to the assignment that needs to be done. Okay, so these are the things that you want to start getting accomplished. Now, the lab that you need to complete, this very first one, is called Scientific Method. There's a video that shows you how to do it. It'll be right under lab exercises. And usually I'll have you links that are attached to that as well too. And then if you have an active learning assignment, those assignments will also be included in there as well too, okay? Let's see, for active learning. Okay, so for those who have never used active learning before, what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna provide that email. So when you go to that link, that active learning link in the module, it'll take you to active learning. Now, when you go there, it should connect you directly to our class. So it shouldn't ask you for a code or anything like that. If it asks you for a code, go back to modules and refresh, and then select that link for active learning. And then it's going to ask you for your email, what school you go to. It's going to ask you all those things, and then it'll open up. So there's a question is, where can I pick up those copies? So those copies can be picked up in Coalinga. It'll be available in in Mesa. That's going to be primarily, and then also in the library, in the tutoring area. Okay, so they'll be available there. And let's see, for Fireball, it'll be in the library. And then for Lemoore, it'll also be in the library and in the Mesa Center. Okay. So there's another question about the lecture notes. Let's see, for the lecture notes, see, where do I? Okay, so the printed out lecture notes, so if you get the printed out version of those won't have the questions in there. They'll have the answers to the questions, but I'm providing you so that you can follow through the lecture as you watch it, right? And then when you get to that point, you can answer the question it's embedded in the recorded lectures. Let's see, active learning. Okay, yes. So active learning is going to require you to pay, but you'll have 2 weeks to pay for it. I believe I have to look at what it's currently at, the price, but I believe it's $49.95. It may be a little bit cheaper than that. And that's usually because they give us a discount. So it was 45. Okay. Okay, so again with the lab kit, let's see. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so again, for the lab kit, we will get all of those issues worked out for it. And then again, if you guys could let me know if you're not gonna be able to purchase it, we're gonna have to extend that week beyond just this week. So we're gonna give you guys a little more time afterwards. And so then we'll be able to sit there and fix that issue, so. Are there any other questions? Let's see, a couple of more popped up, hold on. So. Let's see. Okay. Yes, you will be able to work alone for your labs. So you don't have to buy a kit with somebody. We're just trying to make it cost effective. Now, you have to work in a group because, you know, the reality is that the way the world works today, you need to be able to work with people. And that group project is a group project. You won't be able to do that alone. Now, if people aren't showing up and doing what they're supposed to do, then you just keep doing what you're doing, right? You work and get your work done. There's an opportunity. There's one other part of the assignment is that you're going to sit there and do peer reviews on your individuals as we go through that process. And you want to make sure that they're able to sit there and pull their weight, you know. If you guys work together as a team, it goes through pretty fast. You know, if you have 6 people, everybody does, you know, their part of that paper, right? So then that's less than what? So 6 divided by, or 2,000 words divided by 6. You know, what is that? That's 18. So then that would be what? 4, roughly a little less than 4. So less than 400 words each, you know? No, so the group is being chosen for you. So that's also part of the delay because some of you guys are just getting into the class today. And so we're trying to make sure that we give you guys, it's usually chosen randomly, but we're trying to be a little more organized about how we do it. Try to get you guys in groups that you're going to be working with each other and having some of the same classes throughout the time that you guys are here. Okay, wait, slow down. Hold on, let's see. So is there... Yes, so that's because it's not published yet. We're trying to get everything published by the end of the week. We're just making sure because of the issues that we've had with things popping up that weren't supposed to be there, we're trying not to open up everything until we get those issues fixed and those dates fixed. Okay, so if you guys can do me a favor, I need you guys to one thing. Close your eyes for a minute and take a deep breath. And breathe. Okay, so I want you guys to just calm down a little bit. Everything is going to be okay. It'll all work out. I know it's kind of crazy this first beginning, and we have a lot of questions, and you're going here, and you're going there, and you're going there. We're going to make sure that you guys get through it, okay? We'll get you guys through this whole process. Okay, so one more time. So your group project, that group, we're going to select that group for you. You'll be able to sit there and find that after it's there. It's not up and running yet because we're looking at what you guys do. So we have one more group that we'll be looking at that should let us know. And because we want to make sure that we have people that are real people. One of the biggest things that have been happening here recently is that we get bots that come into the course and then they don't do anything the whole semester. So you may end up being 2 people and really 2 real people and everybody else is bots. And so we were trying to prevent that from happening. So that's part of the reason why we do the mandatory meeting. Okay, so give us a second and we'll get your group together and then you guys will be on your way. Soon as we have your group together, we will send you an announcement to let you guys know. I promise. And it's real quick. All you have to do is sit there and do it. And we're going to be a little bit flexible with the date in the beginning, but as the weeks go on, the dates are going to get more stringent. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. So if you go through the link and it's letting you buy the kit, then you can go ahead and buy the kit. Okay. And I don't know why the issue that we had, they may have fixed it already, but we'll see. I'll be contacting them to figure out why in some cases that we're having that issue. But you want to make sure that you guys are using Chrome when you go through that process. Make sure you're using Chrome. Okay, so I believe we've covered everything. If there's anything else, this video will be recorded and you guys will be able to go through it. And any adjustments along the way, I'll make a note of it and you'll get an announcement saying that there's another video to replace this. So for active learning, you have a trial for the first 2 weeks, and then you have to purchase it. So make sure you purchase it before those first 2 weeks are up. Okay. If you are retaking the course, then you will have access to the class already. And if you have a person that you want to work with, let us know. We'll be putting up that in the announcements. There'll be a link to a Google Sheets. Let us know your group. Okay. And we'll be putting that up tomorrow as well too. So what we'll do is you guys all have access and I'll send you the link to the one that we currently have of everybody who's signed in. And then you guys will have access to that sheet. So if you know somebody, you can contact people that are in that area as well too. So you'll be able to find your group members. Okay. Yes, if you've already taken this course and you have to retake it, and you've already have your kit, you already signed up for things, then all you need to do is you don't have to purchase the kit again. You can use the same kit. Yes, you can use Cengage digital form of the textbook, or you can use a hard copy, whatever you're comfortable with. And as I said, there is a temporary version of the textbook, so you guys can all start reading the first chapter, and then you can start making your way through the third chapter, okay? And then I believe it's 7.3. Yes, ebooks are okay. You guys can use hard copies, physical copies, or you can use ebooks as well. Any other questions? Mrs. Kumari, are you still there?
I'm there, but I'm waiting for like Sarah Reina. She's
Okay.
asking, I never used active learning. It says trial expires on June 15. Do I need to purchase this or not sure if you mentioned this already?
Yes, I did. Okay, so will one of you guys mind sharing your screens? So then, because it won't show up on our screens since we're instructors. If you share your screens, we can show you what you're talking about. So was it Sarah that says the trial? Or was it, so who was it?
Sarah Reina.
Okay, Sarah, do you mind sharing your screen with us? Sararina?
Is she with us or she left? Let's check. She's with us.
Okay. So do you mind sharing your screen? It's the green button at the very bottom. Thank you.
Is it active now? Right
Yes.
corner, purple bar. You have to click on that.
Yeah. So in that, yeah. So that's where you would purchase it at. Okay. Now you'll have 2 weeks to purchase it. So let's say by chance you decided, okay, summer is way too fast for me. I really don't want to take it right now. If you realize that before the first 2 weeks, then you don't have to worry about purchasing it. Okay. Now, but if you know you want to be in this class, get started. By 2 weeks, you're going to have that purchased. Okay.
Yeah.
Does that
Okay,
help?
thank you. Yes, thank you.
You're welcome, Reena. And Angelina is asking the textbook can be anything after the 4th edition?
Yes. 4th and above, yes. The third one was really a mess up, and it's like all scattered and there's not enough material in it. So anything beyond, so 4th and above. Yep. Okay. If there are no other questions, thank you guys for coming out, and we'll get those issues worked out. I'm actually very excited working with you guys because you guys ask a lot of questions.
Yes, they ask a lot of good questions. Yes. I like those too. Okay.
Let's see. So does this count as? So yes, this does count as your mandatory meeting. So you've attended your mandatory meetings. So you don't have to write anything if you've attended the meeting and you understand, but you still want to make sure that you're doing all the things that you need to do. So what are the things? I'm asking you guys a question here. So what are the things once we get the videos and everything worked out and we figure out all of the bugs, what are the things that you guys need to register for and do? Now, I want somebody to talk to me because I love reading, but I don't have my eyeglasses, so I'm doing this to try to see. So talk to me a little bit. So what is one thing that you guys need to do for this course?
Register for active learning.
That's right. Okay, so we need to register for active learning. That is correct. Okay.
Purchase the lab kit.
Purchase the
Yes.
lab. Yes.
Purchase your lab kit. That's your other one. Okay. One more thing.
Our book.
Your book. Okay. Yes, definitely your book. Okay. Can somebody give me one more thing?
Group project.
Group project. There we go. Okay. Okay. So you guys are good to go. Okay. So if you guys make sure you take care of those 4 things, they'll be popping up. Make sure you get those 4 things taken care of. You guys are going to be good to go. Okay. Any other questions? Anybody want to give me $3 million? Actually, it needs to be 6 now because Mrs. Kumari is here too. So, yeah. Okay, I thought I'd ask. One day somebody's going to give you.
That's it, and stay on the top of their work. Yeah.
Yep,
That will be more than $1 million. Okay.
that's right. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so you can start on the lab assignment. So the lab assignment it's scientific methods, and there's a video right underneath it. The video should be visible right now. Let me make sure on my end. So if you go under modules, and if you go under lab assignments, and under, it says lab video, there should be that one video. So if you click on that, that'll be your video on how to do that lab. It's also the same video is in lab assignments, and it should be visible right now. Okay?
And that's due on June 10.
Okay? Any other questions? I believe there's some. Okay. I will see you guys. Well, we'll be talking to each other throughout the semester, and I may have a couple of videos that'll be popping up as well too. So, okay, you guys have a good night.
Good night, everyone.